what's your word? You might want to think about it. I know y'all can do anything you want on your letters, of course. But this year I was thinking, I'm going to have a word this year. And my word is encouragement. And I got this word because at my dad's memorial service, they said he was the gospel of encouragement. And that really resonated with me. And it's something that I've really thought about ever since. Now, if you get a good word, you're going to see that word all around you. And you're going to find derivatives of that word. Like, out of encouragement, there's courage, encourage, take courage, have courage. This is a word you can use all year. So I can give encouragement. Oh, yeah, but I can receive encouragement for my health, my abundance, my work, whatever. So I really invite you all to think about what's your word. That's going to be that'd be a fun thing to open up and see in the middle of July for the letter. So now Chris is going to lead us through this process. And I thought, after all that we went through, you're December 21st, 12/12, that you'd just be the perfect person for today. So I'm just going to let you go at it.
I just have to correct one thing that she said. She said that you guys can write whatever you want in the letter. No, I'm going to dictate now. No, of course, it's very important that if you want to make this a powerful exercise, that you go really inside and look and see what is it that you need. What is it that is going to be right for you? And so I may talk a little bit here about some ideas to consider. But I hope this will be a very meditative process for all of us, that we can go and really look inside. What am I wanting for this coming year? What's in the way of my having a free existence? Because, interestingly enough, I think we're here as spiritual beings having a human experience, trying to rediscover that we're spiritual beings. So we want to bring it full circle. To just have a human experience hasn't been working out all that well. There's been a few problems, just a little wrinkle here or there. Wars, famine, pestilence. I don't know, just little things. You know the story as well as I do, the litany of problems that we've had. So the rediscovery of ourselves as spiritual beings living a human experience in an actual, real way is a very powerful, powerful thing. It's actually the point and the purpose of existence, I think. And so, to me, this is a very powerful and exciting time. It is every year very cool to say, this is what I'm going to let go of. This is what I'm going to, just stop having in my life anymore. And this is what I want to embrace in the new year. This is what I want to have, be, achieve, become. But this year, excuse me, this year, it's 2012. Now that may not mean much to some of you. Maybe it doesn't mean anything to any of you. I don't know. But I just have to say it's been a very powerful year spiritually, and it's coming into a very powerful ending. And it's the beginning of something new and powerful. It's the beginning of a much more spiritual time, when we are far more connected with who we really are. That spiritual being, having that human experience. But when we really know that we are spiritual, when we know that we are God incarnate, or however you want to put it, that we're being, oneness, unity, that we are that, when we really know that deep down in our experience, when we notice that, when we see that, when we wake up in the morning and say, oh yeah, I know the game, it's a lot more fun. It gives us the freedom to know that whatever happens, wherever we go, whatever we do, we're still embraced in the loving oneness. That we are that loving oneness. And that we have a friend. We have the very best friend of all the time. So I know that I'm going to focus a lot of my thinking for next year, and a lot of my releasing on the idea of what's going to help me become more awake, more aware spiritually. So I put that out there. It's not that you need to do that or that you might have that same intention, but I just feel it's important that we really especially remember that this year. I think it's a very powerful, exciting time. And we have some really cool little ceremonies here. And I hope that we can do this in a very meditative way, that we'll go down deep. Jean was reading there that the realization comes in silence. And realization does come in silence. And the clarity of our perception comes from and through and in silence. Everything that we hear, without silence, we wouldn't hear it, would we? Jeff's music would be nothing without a backdrop of silence. It would just be in the mishmash of noise. I'm sure all of us have been in some situations where it was just loud. And it's like you can't even think when it gets really loud. You just feel sort of paralyzed and discombobulated. It's very difficult. So if we can, begin each of these little exercises with some silence, I think that's how we'll meditate today, primarily, is to begin each exercise. And there's 2 of them. There's not tons, there's just 2. And we're going to do it kind of this way. Now here's your little Burning Bowl Day kit. I'm sure all of you got this. We have a letter. That's the big one, so I'll mention it first, but we're going to do it second today. I have mixed feelings, but if we're doing it this way, I think it'll be good. So this is the letter that we can write to ourselves about where we want to be this year, what we want to achieve. And you can leave it here with a self-addressed stamped envelope. Now, you've all been provided with an envelope, but it's up to you to self-address it. You actually don't have to stamp it. Just address it. And then we will mail it to you, mail your letter to you in July. So you're going to want to write a letter to yourself about where you want to be in July and put it in this envelope. And I suggest that you give it some serious thought. Now inside the envelope right now is a little tiny slip of paper, which is just a wonderful little slip of paper because it burns whoosh very quickly and cleanly. But it is little, so you're welcome to use both sides or write little tiny things if you have a lot to let go of. This is what we're going to let go of today. We're going to let go of some of the things in our lives which are holding us back, which block us from achieving what we want to achieve, being what we want to be, feeling how we want to feel, treating others the way we want to treat others, and on and on. What do we need to let go of to be more happy, to be more free? I can see you're getting busy. You all have a lot of ideas. So I'll talk a little bit about maybe just to help stimulate some thoughts. Anything you want to release, be it someone in your life that you'd like to just not have in your life anymore, whether it's an idea, a belief that's holding you back, whether it's a situation that just seems like something that just can't be solved. It's just a rock in a hard place and it's getting tighter and tighter. Whatever it is, you can ask to release that. And you can ask for the assistance of God and whatever form of divinity you want to reach out to God. But I want to remind you that nothing happens to us. Everything happens for us. So I would suggest, it's just an idea, that as you write these things down to release, that you actually consider what you've learned. And if you think you have a little more to learn, ask to learn that as you release it. To let it go and let the lessons come to you. I would suggest that you let go of your problems, your challenges, your difficulties, your difficult people, your own difficulties, the way you're difficult. I would suggest that we let go of those things with gratitude for what they've given us in the way of teaching, in the way of understanding. A few things in life are never, ever misguided. Never the wrong answer. Love is never the wrong answer. It's just always the right answer. Whatever we actually do, love is always the answer. And gratitude is never misplaced. It's a powerful, powerful force. So we may be very, very grateful to let go of some of these things. And be very grateful that they're gone. We also want to have gratitude for what they've brought us in way of teaching in our lives. And as you're releasing, I also suggest that you have gratitude in advance for being set free. It's so much more powerful when you just know it's going to happen. And there's hardly a better way to set that strong intention than to say, thank you for letting this be taken from me. Thank you for this disappearing from my life. And thank you for the lessons that I've learned. Another thing we might want to think about or consider while we're doing this is an old saying. I'm going to put it in this term. It's a lot more subtle than this in a lot of ways, but in a certain way it's just absolutely true. What we resist persists. So I would suggest we let go of the resistance to that crazy person that just shouldn't be there in our lives. We let go of our resistance to forgiving someone. We let go of our resistance to living in this little crummy house that, didn't have power for 5 days and I'm really sick of, you know what I'm talking about. We have resistance to the things that are causing us problems in our lives. We do. How do we know we have resistance? Because those things are still in our lives. That's how we know. Okay? It means we haven't fully learned our lesson, and it means that we still have resistance to whatever that is. To pretend that we're going to have something stay in our lives long term without resistance being there is to pretend that God's laws don't work. So we always want to look inside. What is it that we're doing from our side to create this and to resist this? So it can be a real learning experience. So what I'd like to do right now is to really give you some time to write what you want to let go of. I know some of you are thinking about what you want to have, and actually a little thought about that might help you know what you want to let go of. So let's kind of go into a little bit of meditation. I would invite you to take a minute or two just to go into silence. Just to, what we do sometimes in the Oneness Lesson is say, I invoke divine presence. and invite that knowingness of the oneness of our silence inside. And so I'll let you do that now. May I see a show of hands of those who are still in the process? Thank you. Who's still writing? We're just doing, the only ones we're concerned about right now is the things we're releasing. So, fine if you're still working. You may start coming up in a minute. We'll still have time while we're doing it. I'm usually the last one, so. Let's go ahead and for those that are completed putting what they want to release on this little slip of paper, I'm going to invite you to come out. You can watch the process if you haven't done it before. It's very exciting. One second, I want to give it, Apparently, we dropped it on the floor, but it was completely burned up by the time it landed. That's how quickly they burn. So hold it more over the thing.
Set the candle in the bowl. Set the candle down in the bowl.
That's a possibility. Very good. So the big flash, turn the paper this way. You want to go higher, slide it this way. Hold on. Last call. There is one more. Very good. Isn't it beautiful how it just burns up totally and completely? There's not even an ash left. The smoke comes up and it's dissolved in the atmosphere, and nothing at all is left. And that's the way it happens when we allow God to take things from us. It can be completely dissolved. Sometimes we didn't ask deep enough of you, but that's another story for another day. Right now, recognize that you just released powerful, beautiful, and important, lessons in your life that are now behind you. And you can move on. So, in terms of moving on, for those who haven't started yet, let's begin on our ideas, our goals, if you want to call them that, our intentions, our desires, our dream for this coming year. This year has enormous potential. You can choose to write intentions for different areas of your life if you would like. If there's career goals, if there are situations that you want to see made beautiful, resolved, and made very whole and wonderful. If there are spiritual goals, let me try that again, spiritual goals that you may want to achieve. Maybe achieve is the wrong word, actually. It is the wrong word, but in any case, that you would like to be in a different place spiritually. You'd like to feel more whole. You'd like to be awake. Or really feel yourself in the process of awakening. Or feel more in touch with God. So again, if you haven't already, take a moment of silence. Let yourself deepen into your deepest awareness. again, holding gratitude for the fulfillment of your desires, dreams, your intentions, your goals, your plans. Does anyone need more time? I'm not seeing any sign of that, but I still see people writing. So, well, let's do this. Let's have the envelopes picked up, self-addressed envelopes, with your letter inside. And if your dream was for a great big beautiful new house, be sure and turn in your change of address form at the post office. There's a new address your letter will arrive.
Supposed to seal it.
Yes, seal it. Go ahead and seal the letter. Signed, sealed, soon be 6 months delivered. Would you like to give it? And our lovely ushers are coming in. Okay, one other. The other one is a handsome, dashing fellow.
You noticed I left that alone.
Yes. Did you even hear the last thing I said?
No, I was ignoring.
The last thing I said was, he's a handsome, dashing fellow.
I'll accept it.
Okay. I thought maybe you wanted to hear that. And if you really aren't done, you can turn it in later and we'll accept that. We really want you to feel good about what you've done. Thank you all very much for coming today in this cold and still snowy day, believe it or not. For all this time, it's still snowy. Anyone here who is without power?
Still without help.
Still without power. We have a still without power, okay? Well, you can't leave without sharing in some food, okay? You have to have some lunch before you leave. Okay. I didn't mean bring, I mean eat. You're the last one we want to worry about bringing. Thank you all, and I'll let Jeannie take over for the prosperity.
Good job, Chris.
So, we've released, we've dreamed, we've written it out. Now let us give. And you'll find the prosperity celebration in your bulletin. Together, God is the source, I am the channel. In love, wisdom, and thanksgiving, I give my gift. And the prosperity affirmation for unity. Little Rock, centered in God, assured by faith, and prospered by divine love, we boldly move forward, committed to our spiritual growth in the service of humanity as we build unity together.
We are so beautiful. feel ready? Do y'all feel ready for 2013? Let us circle up and we'll say the prayer of protection and sing the peace song. And then have a delicious lunch. Get that all